What I am about to tell you will make a lot of people uncomfortable. The real secret to weakening cancer does not start with a pill, does not start with a medication, and does not start in a doctor's office. It starts in your kitchen. It starts the moment you decide what you are going to put on your plate. Cancer does not appear by chance. It appears when it finds a favorable environment to grow, and that environment is built over years, day after day, meal after meal. But what few people know is that this environment can also be dismantled. And what I am about to show you can completely change the way you think about your diet. Cancer is not invincible. It has a weak point. Cancer cells are not invincible. They are, in fact, metabolically demanding. They need very specific conditions to survive and multiply. Large amounts of sugar, chronic inflammation, and a completely dysregulated internal environment. And the most disturbing thing about all of this is that this environment is built by exactly what most people eat every single day without thinking twice. If cancer has a weak point, that is it. And that is precisely the point we are going to attack. But first, you need to understand something that is going to change the question you ask about this disease. The wrong question. Everyone asks about cancer. Most people, when they think about cancer, always ask the same question. What is the treatment? What is the cure? That is understandable, but it is the wrong question. The right question is, am I favoring the growth of cancer, or am I strengthening my body to fight it? Because if cancer needs fertile ground to grow, then the smartest strategy is to make that ground as hostile as possible. And that begins long before any diagnosis. Today you are going to discover that there are accessible, common fruits that science has already proven to be true allies in this battle. But the first thing you need to understand is why cancer cases are exploding among young people. Cancer is growing among young people and few are talking about it. Cases of cancer in people under 50 years old have been growing consistently for more than a decade. And scientific research is pointing more and more in the same direction. Modern lifestyle is creating the perfect ground for the development of tumors. Ultra-processed food, a sedentary lifestyle, chronic stress, and poor quality sleep are the main culprits. This is not alarmism, it is science. And when it comes to prevention, to strengthening the body, and to creating an internal environment that is hostile to cancer, diet plays an absolutely central role. But why does inflammation have so much power over this disease? What happens inside your body when it is out of control? Chronic inflammation is the silent fuel of cancer. When your body is in a state of constant inflammation, it creates an environment where abnormal cells can develop much more easily. Chronic inflammation damages DNA, impairs the immune system's ability to identify and eliminate defective cells, and even stimulates the formation of new blood vessels that feed tumors. That is why reducing inflammation is not just a matter of well-being. It is a survival strategy. And the good news is that the fruits you are about to discover act directly on this point. What these fruits do, that medications cannot do. Compounds found in common fruits reduce inflammation, protect the DNA of cells, activate the body's natural defense mechanisms, and even directly interfere with the processes that cancer cells use to survive. This does not replace any medical treatment, but ignoring this power would be a very serious mistake. Let us start with the first fruit on the list. It is citrusy, refreshing, easy to find, and contains a compound that very few people know about. And that compound can change everything. Grapefruit. The fruit that cleanses your body from the inside. Grapefruit is widely recognized by science as one of the most powerful fruits in the fight against cancer. Every 100 grams of pink grapefruit contains significant amounts of lycopene, an antioxidant that acts directly to protect cells against free radicals, those unstable molecules that damage DNA and pave the way for tumor development. In addition, grapefruit is rich in vitamin C, which strengthens the immune system and reduces systemic inflammation. But there is one specific compound in this fruit that catches the attention of scientists, and you need to know what it does. the compound in grapefruit that inhibits tumor growth. That compound is called naringenin. It has a proven ability to inhibit the growth of cancer cells and to stimulate the programmed death of abnormal cells, a process called apoptosis. In simple terms, naringenin helps the body eliminate what should not be there. The ideal amount is half a grapefruit per day, or about 200 grams. However, there is a very important detail about grapefruit that can directly affect people who take regular medications. If you or someone you know uses medications for the heart, blood clotting, or cholesterol, what I am about to say is essential. Warning: grapefruit can interact with medications. Grapefruit can interact with certain medications, especially those used to treat heart disease, clotting problems, and high cholesterol. This interaction can amplify or reduce the effect of the medication, causing serious consequences. So if you take any ongoing medication, consult your doctor before including grapefruit regularly in your diet. Now that you know the precautions around grapefruit, it is time for the second fruit. It is the most common of all, found in every market in the world, and most people eat it in completely the wrong way. Apple, the most underestimated fruit in nature. There is a saying that goes, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. And as simple as it sounds, science confirms that this phrase has far more foundation than most people imagine. The apple contains more than 300 different bioactive compounds, including flavonoids and polyphenols, which have anti-inflammatory and antioxidant effects, and a proven ability to slow tumor growth. One of those compounds, quercetin, has demonstrated in scientific studies the ability to fight prostate and colon cancer. Research also indicates that regular apple consumption can reduce the risk of developing lung cancer by up to 20%. But there is a mistake that almost everyone makes when eating an apple, and that mistake eliminates almost all of its benefits. The mistake that eliminates the anti-cancer power of the apple. The most common mistake is peeling the apple. The highest concentration of anti-cancer substances is found precisely in the skin and in the pulp just beneath it. By peeling it, you throw away the most powerful part. There is also a second mistake: cutting the apple and leaving it exposed to air for too long. Antioxidants degrade rapidly upon contact with air, and in just a few minutes the pulp begins to darken, a sign that the compounds are oxidizing. Always eat it with the skin on and immediately after cutting. And there is still a little-known trick that multiplies the anti-cancer effect of the apple. You are going to want to know what it is. The cinnamon and apple trick that few people know about. Combine the apple with a little cinnamon powder. Cinnamon not only enhances the flavor, it also increases the anti-inflammatory effect, improves digestion, and optimizes the absorption of the fruit's active compounds. The recommendation is 1 to 2 apples per day, with the skin on, always alternating with other fruits. Now we come to the third fruit on the list. It acts in a way that none of the previous ones do. It literally cuts off the supply of nutrients that cancer uses to grow, and that changes everything. Grape. The food that cuts off cancer's supply line. Red and purple grapes are one of the richest sources of resveratrol that nature has to offer. Resveratrol is an extraordinary antioxidant that slows the growth of cancer cells, strengthens the immune system, and activates internal mechanisms that eliminate abnormal cells in the earliest stages of development before they grow and spread. But resveratrol does not act alone. The flavonoids found in grapes block the formation of new blood vessels that normally feed tumors. In simple terms, grapes starve cancer to death. They cut off the supply of blood and nutrients it needs to grow. The fatal mistake people make when eating grapes. The recommendation is to consume between 150 and 200 grams of fresh grapes per day. But there is a mistake that virtually cancels all of these benefits: peeling the grapes and spitting out the seeds. It is precisely in the skin and seeds where the greatest concentration of anti-cancer compounds is found. The ideal approach is to eat the grape whole, or to prepare a blended juice without straining it, making use of everything the fruit has to offer. Now let us talk about a fruit that everyone has at home, that seems too simple to be powerful, but that hides a detail about sugar and cancer that is going to surprise you. Banana. The everyday food that strengthens your defenses. The banana is loaded with antioxidants, vitamins, and minerals that strengthen the body's defenses and make it much harder for abnormal cells to grow. Natural substances found in the banana help slow the development of defective cells and strengthen the immune system to recognize and eliminate damaged cells before they become something more serious. But there is a very common mistake when consuming bananas that few people know about, and that mistake may be stimulating exactly what you are trying to fight against. The ripe banana is the enemy of your health. Very ripe bananas, with dark spots and a soft texture, have a much higher glycemic load and cause rapid spikes in blood insulin levels. And that is a serious problem. The higher and more frequent the insulin spike throughout the day, the more cancer growth is favored. Always prefer less ripe bananas, with a still slightly greenish peel. Combine them with healthy fats like avocado or ground flax seeds to improve nutrient absorption. And add cinnamon to further enhance the anti-inflammatory effect. 1 banana per day is enough. But before continuing, you need to understand why sugar is literally cancer's best friend. Sugar is cancer's best friend. Understand this once and for all. Cancer has a very strong metabolic preference for sugar. Cancer cells consume glucose at a much faster rate than normal cells, in a process known as the Warburg effect. This means that a diet rich in simple sugars and ultra-processed foods creates exactly the environment that cancer cells need to multiply. Cutting back on sugar does not cure cancer, but it significantly hinders the environment in which it thrives. And when you combine that reduction with consuming the right fruits, you are acting on 2 fronts at the same time, taking away the enemy's fuel and strengthening your own defenses. Now we arrive at the 5th fruit on the list. It is small, green on the outside, and hides something that will transform your immune system from within. Kiwi, the green gem that transforms your immune system. Kiwi contains an impressive concentration of vitamin C, vitamin E, fiber, and polyphenols that, together, transform the immune system into a true army against malignant tumors. Studies point to particularly relevant benefits in the fight against intestinal, stomach, and lung cancer. The fibers in kiwi improve intestinal transit, help the body eliminate toxins more efficiently, and favor the balance of the gut microbiota, which we now know is fundamental for the prevention of various chronic diseases, including cancer. The recommendation is 1 to 2 kiwis per day. But there is a detail about kiwi that almost no one knows, and that makes all the difference when it comes to how you consume it. The secret of the skin and the right time to eat kiwi. The skin of the kiwi can and should be eaten. It is rich in fiber and antioxidants, promotes healthy bowel movement, and protects the intestinal lining. For even more efficient absorption, eat kiwi on an empty stomach in the morning, or about 30 minutes before main meals. If you want to further enhance the anti-cancer effects, opt for the golden kiwi, which contains a higher concentration of these compounds compared to the conventional green variety. But there is an organ in your body that most people never associate with cancer, and that plays a decisive role in all of this. Gut microbiota and its direct connection to cancer. The gut is home to trillions of bacteria that have a profound impact on the immune system and on the risk of developing various types of cancer. When that balance is disrupted, inflammation increases and the body loses part of its ability to identify and eliminate abnormal cells. Fiber-rich fruits, such as kiwi, apple, green banana, and pomegranate, feed the beneficial bacteria in the gut and help restore that balance. This is not a minor detail. It is a fundamental part of any serious prevention strategy. And now we arrive at the last fruit on the list. The one that scientists consider the most powerful of all. The one that does something none of the others can do. It repairs your DNA. Pomegranate. The fruit that repairs DNA and awakens your natural defenses. Pomegranate is rich in natural antioxidants and contains compounds that help repair damage in the genetic material of cells. Damage that, when left uncorrected, can lead to the development of tumors. At the same time, the nutrients in pomegranate strengthen the body's natural defenses to identify and eliminate cells that are already showing abnormal behavior. It is no coincidence that the pomegranate was a symbol of life, health, and renewal in countless cultures and religions throughout human history. But the way you consume the pomegranate makes all the difference. And most people make a mistake that eliminates almost everything that makes it so powerful. The mistake that destroys the power of the pomegranate. The biggest mistake is consuming pomegranate as an industrialized or processed juice. In these products, much of the active compounds are destroyed during the manufacturing process. The ideal is to always eat the fresh, whole seeds, which preserve all the active compounds. Half a pomegranate per day or a small bowl of seeds is already enough. And a detail that few people know: do not discard the white inner part of the fruit. Despite its bitter taste, this part also contains valuable nutrients. Some people even dry the well-washed skin and the white parts to make infusions, extracting even more benefits from this extraordinary fruit. Now that you know all 6 fruits, there is probably a question in your head. Do I need to eat all of them every single day? How to build an anti-cancer eating routine in practice? The answer is no. The key is not in the quantity, but in consistency and variety. A practical suggestion is to start the day with a kiwi or half a pomegranate on an empty stomach. Mid-morning, eat an apple with the skin on and a pinch of cinnamon. In the afternoon snack, eat some fresh whole grapes with skin and seeds. And throughout the day, have a less ripe banana combined with chia seeds or avocado. Including half a grapefruit at breakfast or lunch is also an excellent strategy, always remembering to check with your doctor about compatibility with any medication you take. But diet is only part of the problem. There is something that happens every night while you sleep that may be undermining everything you eat during the day. Sleep, stress, and cancer, what science says. Deep sleep is the moment when the body carries out most of its cellular repair processes. It is during sleep that damaged cells are eliminated and the immune system consolidates its surveillance capacity. Chronic sleep deprivation compromises all of these processes. In the same way, chronic stress raises cortisol levels in the blood, suppresses immune function, and creates a hormonal environment that favors inflammation and the growth of abnormal cells. Combining a diet rich in anti-cancer fruits with quality sleep and stress management is the most powerful foundation that exists for strengthening the body. And there is still one final factor that multiplies all of these results, something that costs nothing and that anyone can do. Movement, exercise, and immunity. The connection few people know about. Scientific studies show that people who exercise regularly have significantly more efficient immune systems, lower levels of chronic inflammation, and a lower risk of developing various types of cancer. Exercise stimulates blood and lymphatic circulation, reduces insulin and systemic inflammation levels, and increases the production of immune cells responsible for identifying and eliminating abnormal cells. Combining anti-cancer fruits with a consistent exercise routine multiplies the results exponentially. But before closing, there is something you need to hear with full attention. What you eat every day is sending signals to your cells. Every food you consume contains information. That information reaches the nucleus of your cells and influences the expression of your genes, the efficiency of your immune system, and the regenerative capacity of your tissues. When you eat a grape with its skin and seed, the resveratrol enters your bloodstream and communicates with your genes, activating cellular protection mechanisms. When you eat an apple with its skin, the polyphenols feed beneficial bacteria that strengthen your immune system. When you eat pomegranate, the substances it contains enter your cells and help repair damage in your DNA. All of this happens in silence, but it does happen. And every meal is an opportunity to either strengthen or weaken that process. The final message you need to take from here: these 6 fruits, grapefruit, apple, grape, banana, kiwi, and pomegranate, are not isolated miracles. They are part of a larger strategy, a life philosophy that understands the body as an integrated system, capable of defending itself when given the right resources. None of them replace medical treatment. If you are under oncological care, talk to your doctor before making any significant change to your diet. But if you are healthy and want to stay that way, these fruits can be extraordinary allies on this journey. Cancer thrives on neglect, inflammation, and a weakened immune system. And if that is the case, the answer lies in doing the opposite. Nourishing the body with intelligence, reducing inflammation, and creating an internal environment where cancer simply cannot thrive. This is within reach of anyone. It requires only information and consistency. Now you have the information. The next step is yours.